Hi, I'm Lauren Levine, and this is
Bob Swartzel.
Bob. What was your earliest scouting memory?
Going to Boy Scout meetings, troop meetings. We met at a separate building from a grammar school. It was the library eventually, but when we met there, the Lions Club, who sponsored our troop, had built the building specifically for the troop to meet in.
Wow.
So that was kind of neat.
How was your first year at Emerson?
How was it? Emerson, the camp itself, was somewhat different from today. Where we're sitting now was about the eastern boundary of camp. Not quite, because the kitchen was right here. This slab over here is where the kitchen was. And we just ate in benches somewhat like these. Right out from it, the front of the kitchen would open up and we'd get our trays up and get our food. And then after we finished eating, we'd go out behind the kitchen and wash our own trays. They had a galvanized trash can, and we had a submersion heater in it and a brush, and we'd brush our off and then rinse it off with clean water and hang them up or put them in a rack, which same thing. And that was how we did it.
Did you earn Eagle, and if so, what was your project?
I did earn Eagle, and I did not do a project because it wasn't required then.
It wasn't required
No,
then?
it wasn't. I got Eagle in 1950.
50, and when did they start requiring you to do projects?
About 51.
Oh, wow. So you skirted by on that one.
Yeah, I did, although I have done many projects since, so I guess I made up for it.
What was the coolest thing at Emerson?
The coolest thing? Well, if you're talking about temperature-wise, the pool was the coolest thing. The pool did have a heater on it and a filter, but the filter was two pockets of sand that were about 9 feet deep and about 6 feet square. And the water went into that filter, and then off the bottom it was pumped out back into the pool. That was how it was filtered.
So you thought that was the coolest thing?
I know I didn't really think that was the coolest thing, but that was how we did it.
Do you have kids, and if so, were they involved in scouting?
I had a son who was involved in scouting. He got to life, and then gasoline and perfume got to him. And I also felt that being an Eagle was something that was personal. If he didn't want to do it, then I wasn't going to force him, because that wasn't the thing, I didn't think. But I had two daughters, and they couldn't be involved in scouting, but they were involved in Girl Scouts, and if Boy Scouts had taken them in like they do today, they would have been Eagle Scouts, because they both got the Gold Award in Eagle and Girl Scouts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what kind of jobs in scouting were you involved in?
What kind of jobs in scouting?
Like different areas that
Well,
you
I was patrol leader, and then senior patrol leader, and then junior assistant scoutmaster, and then actually we, at one time when I was a senior in high school, we were having meetings, but we didn't have an adult. But we still had the meetings. The kids were doing all the stuff, and we had a district commissioner came by and told me I had to quit having meetings until we had an adult scoutmaster. So I went to the Lions Club and told them the situation, and they recruited an adult scoutmaster.
And did you have a favorite role?
Do I have a favorite role? I liked camping and outdoor life. So, and I did some of the requirements I did. I was senior patrol leader or junior assistant scoutmaster at the time, and I cooked meals for the committee and stuff for cooking bed. I took a cooking class in middle school. In those days, we had a middle school. It had junior. We call it junior high. They didn't call it middle school. And it was 7, 8, and 9. And high school then was 10, 11, and 12.
What do you think your legacy is here at Emerson?
Well, part of my legacy and stuff that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't done something is all the cabins that are here. The wood from almost all the cabins grew here in camp. And in 2003, we were having a pine beetle, bark beetle attack, and the beetles killed the trees. They died in a specific way. The top 8 or 10 feet of the tree would turn brown and die, and then it would turn brown down the tree like that till the bottom, until the tree was dead. And I was coming back from Philmont in 2003, and one of the range of mountains in eastern Arizona, the trees it was all brown. They were all dead. And so I was on summer camp staff then, and I came back. My wife was with me. We came back, and I then decided we ought to buy a sawmill to work over those dead trees. And Wood-Mizer, which is based in central United States, I don't know whether it's Missouri or where, but anyway, well, that's not important. But they had a demo at Lake Arrowhead, and the ranger Jeff Lofke and I went over and looked at it, and I thought, hey, this is what we need. So, and it was portable. It had tires on it. You could tow it like a trailer. So I gave them a down payment on it to hold it there. That way I'd save shipping from Northern California, which is where they were based in California. And came back and started talking to people, some of the guys on staff, and at that time, well, we still do. We have a group of guys that come up on Wednesdays and do work for camp. They built most of the buildings, not all of them, but a lot of them. And they raised some more money, and then I talked to Mike Downs in Corona, who has been a real supporter of camp and has done a lot. But he put forth a great large amount of money, and we bought the sawmill. And one of the guys that was helping me at some times, Gary Hatton, and I went over and picked it up and brought it to camp. And it's been here since, and we've made about, in my estimation, we made a little over 110,000 board feet of lumber.
Wow.
That's a lot of lumber.
That is a lot of lumber.
Well, look at the cabins we have around here made with that native wood.
That is pretty
Now this
amazing.
thing isn't. It was half concrete block. We had a guy that was the electric inspector for San Bernardino County, and he, of course, had contact with the union, and so he got some of the union guys to donate and come up and build stuff. They built this restroom here, and restroom, storeroom, and showers, and he built the concrete block building at the range, which is concrete block all the way up. This is only halfway up, and because the range you wanted it to be secure, and we have several gun safes in that building, and wish I could remember his name. I'm really rotten for remembering names. And but he lived in San Bernardino, and by that time, the 4 councils that were the original 4 councils in Riverside and San Bernardino County, there was Riverside County Council, and then the Redlands Council was an early council, and they actually had a couple of pieces in Riverside County, which was okay. And then there was a San Bernardino Council, and then there was Baldy Council that was partially San Bernardino and partly LA County. And over the years, all those councils have merged into one, the Inland Empire Council. And when I started in Scouts, we had a Scout executive named Carl Helmick, and I think he was the longest tenured Scout executive the council ever had. because he came in the early 30s and was still here in the early 70s when John Dudley came. John Dudley was here for a few years, and then we had, and the council merged some more under John Dudley. And Old Baldy Council merged with us, and they brought a lot of leadership with them. And which is good. And I don't know how come they couldn't raise the money. They had a camp at Holton Valley that was a neat camp. I visited the camp as an official visitor a couple of times, and then I visited the camp a couple of times for their wood badge course. The wood badge course, training course, I don't know if you know about wood badge or not.
I do.
Okay, well, you know it is, maybe you don't know it, but it is also governed by the area. And we're in Western Region Area 4. Well, when I went to wood badge, the course number was 45-1.
Wow.
But there was no, we had a Region 12, but they didn't divide it up into small areas like they have the Western Region. And Southern California is Area 4, and that includes a number of Boy Scout camps. And I have more or less visited all of them one way or another, either for a visitation or for course counseling. And it's been interesting. I don't know, what was that question I was supposed to be asking?
The
I got
question
wandering.
was, what was your legacy here at Emerson? I think you said the buildings.
Buildings mostly, I think, really.